Today, God declares that rest is the natural state in which I will always guide you in life. When people around you are burdened, afraid, and fleeing, I will bring you to an easy yoke with a light burden. I give you the freedom to abandon the erroneous practices of an outmoded religion. I empower you to reject the unwarranted authority of those who have spoken curses at you. Dishonest weights and unfair measures are repulsive to me, declares the Father. I will announce from above, freeing you from the clutches of fear and the effects of control and manipulation that have abused you. Today, I appointed you as my pupil. When the adversary trifles with you, I will remove him from your life with hurry and intensity. I am the Lion of Judah, and you are my progeny. Thus, let out your shout, even if it appears small at times. You are protected by my might, and I amplify your voice with my might, driving all of your enemies to flee today, proclaims your Father. God declares that solitude is undesirable, so you will not experience it. I created you for company, and your original loyalty will be revealed via connection with me. As you seek my depth, which resonates with yours, I will approach you and reveal myself to you. I will reveal to you profound and important realities that you are unaware of. I will reveal all topics, including those that are hidden from sight and sound. I will explain the complexities of natural viewpoints and introduce you to mysteries from celestial vaults. Do not complain about broken relationships and connections. Have I not indicated that I came to deliver a sword, not peace? That a man's opponents would come from within his family? Do not be surprised if those closest to you periodically detach themselves from your presence. Throughout my time on earth, my relatives attempted to remove me, claiming I was demented and out of control. The goal is to replicate the Father's acts and find happiness in doing so. No entity exists indefinitely. This will also end. My long-term goal in your life is to bring the separated together to form families. One day, I'll introduce you to a close circle whose earnest declaration is, I will never abandon you. I will never forsake you. Have confidence, for that day will certainly come. In the meantime, rejoice, for as they have wronged me, they have also harmed you. Accept my solace and discover tranquility. God declares today that my blessing goes beyond simple good wishes and intentions. My blessing returns you to the prelapsarian period, when all of your words and acts were as effective as if they had been spoken and carried out by me. Initially, I granted humans the authority to conquer and dominate. What was lost in the Garden of Eden is restored in the Garden of Gethsemane. I am carrying out the entirety of that transaction in your life as you submit to me. The Father declares that when I am absolutely Lord within you, I will also be completely Lord through you. The Father claims that helplessness is not an inherent condition. Today, weakness, bondage, and fragility are not your fate. You will gain outward success by giving from inside. Completely and irrevocably surrender to my Lordship, including all elements of your life. My Spirit's impact is evident in your life. When you reach that condition of surrendering and surrender, you will notice even the most stubborn difficulties disappear like chaff. Abandon the outcome and focus your entire being on me. I will meet you, purify you, and change you into my likeness. As you entirely surrender to me, the Father declares a new day full of blessings and entitlement. God proclaims that now is the time to rest in the completed work. When you have observed your life via the light I supply, when you have agreed with my viewpoint on the subject, by submitting to the trimming, you gain the clarity that distinguishes light from darkness. The multiplication of my benefits has arrived. At this point, the Father announces, it is finished. There is no more struggle required. No more expectation or uncertainty. The wait has ended. The response has came. It is within you, developing your dreams and preparing to completely manifest. Your claim to my purpose is no longer in question. The mature son is attaining his full height within you. Find solace in me, says the Father. Trust in my guarantee. Rest in my sustenance. Trust in my plans. They will not disappoint you, just as I will not let you down. Enter today into the essence of Sabbath, proclaims the Father, for there will be no more delays. Angels proclaim today that my image should be reflected within you and projected outside. Life and circumstances may shape your identity in a variety of ways, yet you were created to reflect my likeness. When I said you couldn't have any other gods before me, I didn't want you to jeopardize your integrity by believing a lie that can't create, protect, or support you. I have imprinted a distinct likeness on you and sculpted you to embody it. Because of his hostility toward me, the opponent recognizes and despises this. Allow my essence to reside within you and be reflected in your being. My nature is both internally sacred and externally victorious. Keep this in mind when seeking an escape from the tension and conflict. My main character is lordship, and I want to advance you entirely via the defeat of your rivals, granting benefits on your trip. Do not turn to cowardice. Do not rationalize away the worth of your blessings. I have granted you authority. I have granted you the authority to tame, conquer, and surpass ordinary conquest. This is my identity, which I have enabled you to adopt. Thus, the Father implores you to submit to my interior grace for heart transformation and my external anointing to defeat all adversaries. This is your portion and inheritance derived from the shed blood. God declares today that you are not disregarded in my plans. Your link to me includes placement, purpose, and provision. You asked, "What are you doing, Lord?" I am filling the void in your life with deep connection, resulting in multiplicity and prosperity. The rivers of my spirit inside you are either sterile or barren. More favor and plentiful blessings are manifesting and emerging in every area of need and desire. You are a designated resource in my government, summoned to the kingdom for this precise purpose. It makes no difference whether people acknowledge, work with, or align with my purpose in their lives, for I am always with you and will never abandon you. Embracing the kingdom's purpose in your life is necessary to reap its benefits. Review your placement today. Accept your vocation. Everything is sufficient, and the ideal transition period has arrived. God proclaims today that you are Abraham's descendants because of your faithfulness and closeness to me. I stated that I would bless Abraham and his descendants. The term seed refers to Christ. During my earthly life, I formed the Abrahamic covenant and left it as a legacy and gratuitous gift to all who would come after me. As your Lord and Savior, I declare that you are blessed and faithful Abraham. I declare that I have called you from the lineage of humans to the lineage of my spirit. I have summoned you from human culture and heritage into the unexplored territories of entitlement within my domain. I have summoned you from the constraints of a terrestrial home and established you as an unbreakable spiritual building. I told Abraham that his offspring would be as numerous as the stars in the heavens. You have a share in the ascending identity. You are not a terrestrial seed. You are more than just a follower within a religious framework. You are a new creation, and my mercy is refreshed in you every morning. My majesty rests on you, like the greatness of a divinely constituted nation that the limitations of humanity cannot contain or constrain. Understand this, says your Father. I will bless those who bless you, but I will punish those who underestimate you. The Father declares you to be his disciple, and you have access to the full faith of heaven, for His magnificence exists inside you and surrounds you like a shield even today. Jesus proclaims that nowadays, harmony should rule your existence. Allow the Matthew 18 agreement to guide your ideas and emotions. Do not allow anything to derail your alignment with my word, my spirit. Your capacity to agree is an accurate sign of your miracle. It is critical to silence the voices of doubt and mistrust. You must reject doubting the veracity of my word and instead challenge the authority of empirical evidence and sensory knowledge. The Father proclaims that you are now entitled to a much greater privilege in His realm. It is found in the harmony of your mind, the clarity of your goals, and the honesty of your emotions. As a result, shun all regulations and authorities that disparage my loyalty and steadfastness. Resist the oppression of visual perception and the insistence on previous experiences that anticipate recurrence. Release. Grant forgiveness. Discharge. Consecrate. Accept the novelty of my mercy, which awaits you today. Your Father announces that the reservoir of my mercy is freely available to you, and its current will be unobstructed by any human, demon, or angel. I am a firm deity, and my influence will be awakened by a faith-filled heart. The conversation of incredulity continues in your heart. Drink deeply of the rivers and currents of my spirit that surge and effervesce within the depths of your soul. The streams of the extraordinary are developing in your life as you align with me right now. God announces today that there is a divide in my intentions. Light and darkness have no shared foundation. As the illumination to which I have invited you approaches, certain entities, individuals, and situations will be excluded. Maintain a flexible perspective on all issues. If Abraham had realized this, Lot would not have followed him or eventually settled in Sodom. The greatest threat to those around you comes when they resist and act against my plans for your life. Listen to me. Prioritize your devotion to me as your primary loyalty, even if it results in separation from compromised relationships. You have asked for clarity and confidence. I guarantee you that it will come when you engage and connect with what I have previously spoken with certainty. Progress cannot be made unless existing assignments are completed. Much of what you seek from me is within your reach and will be realized as you follow my instructions in voice, conduct, and action. Don't be afraid, answered the Father. I'm aware of your criteria. Every sadness in your heart has been linked with mine, resonating with my sympathy. Proceed. Advance with confidence and assurance, and the results for yourself and everyone around you will be guaranteed. Today, God declares that the divine words I have spoken to you have shaped your reality. I have communicated my words throughout history, from ancient civilizations and languages to the present. Utilize the access I have given you, as stated by the Father. When others recognize only inanimate text, you can perceive its vibrant and dynamic soul. Perceive the manifestation of my authority when others see just mythology and fabrication. Allow my message to turn into a holy word within you. My message is dynamic and powerful, and it is meant to be manifested via faith-filled words. The Father says that when you speak my word, you summon my presence. In your discussion, my word refers to the rice paper and bonded leather that serve as the critical link between bondage and breakthrough. Rekindle your love for my word today. Refuse to let somebody to mediate my statement for you. Re-establish a personal and intimate connection to my word. I valued my promise over my name and encourage you to renew yourselves through my words. By doing so, my word will become substance and promise in your life, declares the Father. Angels are now asking you to see yourself from my perspective. Perceive yourself as redeemed. consider yourself absolved. Consider yourself the favored son or daughter of my right hand. You will not be denied or rejected from my throne of grace. I made man in my image in the garden and confirmed that image on the cross. When I exclaimed, "It's finished," I laid the groundwork for a completely new creation, a novel species on earth. When you were created afresh, the DNA of that new creation began to replicate throughout your lifetime. The procedure will continue until you are perfected in my image. Begin your day with a new view on yourself, as I perceive you. When you investigate the recesses of your heart that you have given to me, you will notice me looking back at you. "Don't be afraid," answered the Father. "I am inexorably extending from your innermost core to the furthest edge of your being. You are valued. I've identified you as the apple of my eye. Instruct your eyes to see as I see and to act as I act, and the power of sin, humiliation, and failure will be subdued by that vision. Today, God proclaims that He will observe the good human. Such a person's final fate will be calm. Have I not designated you as the recipient of my mercy? I've designated and recalled you on this day, just as I did Noah and the flood survivors. You've considered the potential repercussions at times. Are you still present? Do not be concerned about tomorrow. Redirect the resources spent on tomorrow's issues toward me. Approach me, and I will protect you from the challenges of tomorrow. When I remembered Noah, I summoned a rush of wind. Nonetheless, my wind is encompassing you right now. The wind I'm sending into your life will reduce the rivers of adversity, allowing you to stroll on dry ground. You will survive the current challenge. This will always be my unflinching response to your concerns. Expect my breeze, the breezes of my grace and mercy. My strength will reject the adversary's dreadful affliction, ensuring your safe passage to the region of triumph. Today, God says that perplexity and resistance are necessary components of combat. Don't assume that experiencing opposition means you're diverting from the route I've set for you. I did not leave you in the dark regarding Satan's plots. Resolve not to be misled by the devil's illusions, which show him as greater than he is. In the scriptures, your adversary is referred to as the adversary. He is subtle and cunning, yet you may recognize him in any sphere of life where adversity manifests. Regardless of how well hidden this hostile strategy is, you can continually expose it by tracking the aspects that are harmful to you. The Father says, "Your role is to resist, and my role is to drive him away." Oppose the opponent, and he will retreat. It is inherent in his character, and I have given him no choice. I generate light and create darkness. I also created the destroyer. However, no weapon fashioned against you will succeed. So, approach each difficulty with my thoughts, knowledge, and character. What actions will you take? You will behave as I would if I were in your situation. Accept your entitlement today and recognize it as your due inheritance, delivered by my power. You are not a victim, and I have not commanded you to suffer any anguish for which I have already atoned on Calvary. God proclaims that He no longer accepts bull and goat blood. Instead, your praise sacrifices will be a pleasing scent to Him. Some mock the offerings of your speech, but remember this: your worship changes the outcome, including the immediate implications of your circumstance. My heart responds to worship when you lift my name above the hardships you face. I immediately request my blessing and provision for you today. The angels have now increased their efforts to defend and advocate for your cause. Will I not respond to you when you call upon me in times of trouble? Invoke me even when you feel unworthy. Will I not show you sufficient mercy? Express thanks and keep your heartfelt promises to me, and I will foil the enemy's efforts to limit and corrupt you. your Father God proclaims. I am leading you to the rejuvenation of my reservoirs of love, forgiveness, and joy at this time and season. Today, don't let the urgent dominate the important in your life. Resolve today to focus your energy on your potential rather than your difficulties. Challenges, such as poverty, are permanent. However, your potential has a short lifespan that should not be neglected. An opportunity offers itself to you. I encourage you not only to knock, but to take this door off its hinges and enter with courageous faith, confident in your identity as I assert it, regardless of the circumstances. Allow your vision to see today who I have created you to be. Imagine yourself in the vast splendor of my potential that lives inside you. Your potential is not determined by external conditions. Your potential transcends circumstance and will free you from deprivation, constraint, and deficiency as you focus on your purpose. I created you for expansion, generation, advancement, and productivity. This is your basic status in my kingdom. Take joy in the Father's provision, and see how it manifests in your life today. God declares today that I am blowing the shofar from the depths of my being into your spirit. I am sending my wind to energize and animate all that lives within you. Instruct your ears to hear my voice, declares the Father. It is a sound that calls for the celebration of my gifts and affluence. It is a rallying cry against deprivation, denial, and failure. The Father insists that your destiny will not include an abortion. Hear my voice and surrender to my resonance, which pervades every part of your existence. My tone is lively and strong, filled with strength, blessings, and favor. Listen carefully to my voice and disregard the adversary's moans of failure, defeat, and despair. The Father claims that the prognosis is not negative. Direct your attention, for I have given you the city, and the dark defenses that encircle you are collapsing to the ground. There will be no more failure, despair, or mourning, since the Father has clearly announced blessing, favor, and a share in the kingdom for your life today. Today, God claims that spiritual revelation will surpass intellectual information if you allow it. Do not let your natural brain to develop you. Instead, let my Spirit's mind transform you. Your intelligence is limited and flawed. My intelligence within you is transforming, unconstrained, and endless. You have heard the admonition to remove the constraints on God. I say that I am not restrained in any way, and you will not be restricted or confined when you allow your mind to be cleaned and liberated from anything stemming from fear, skepticism, and gloomy expectations. Your background, experiences, and cultural upbringing shape your psyche, presenting you with a constant barrage of restrictions, restraints, and weaknesses. This information is derived from the five senses and the reasoning mind. Today, I ask you to go beyond conventional appraisals and join me in ascending to a realm where the unlikely becomes not just feasible, but guaranteed. What mankind views as impossibility and fantasy is the intrinsic situation under which I create, shape, and materialize destiny, sustenance, healing, and liberation through my action. This is the source of answered prayers, and miraculous blessings are currently being sent to your address. Therefore, rejoice, declares the Father, and anticipate, since I am managing your circumstances. As you trust, obey, and submit to me, I will give the answers you need. Today, God instructs you to keep the adversary from weakening your resolve. Pessimism and doubt may appear sophisticated, yet they produce only dust and ashes. Continue to accept what others consider dumb, for I use the world's idiotic aspects to perplex the intelligent. I use the essential things that others despise to exhibit all of my magnificence. You have no responsibility to show or express remorse. When you are convinced you have followed my instructions, ignore your adversaries and desist from responding to those who seek justification. The Father declares that the spirit of the mocker has been exiled from your domain. The essence of grace and mercy is blossoming through strength, healing, and release. You asked illumination, and today I deliver to you an entirely new spiritual habitat. The darkness is dissolving, and the light of forgiveness and release is freeing you from your limitations. The Father proclaims that you will enter the new day. This is a day for commissions, engagement, and outcomes. I am establishing my persona within you. I'm using my dunamis ability to address your vulnerabilities and needs, resulting in a transforming kingdom outcome that will change your perceptions, ideas, and actions even now. I declare that you are the beloved. You will not only believe it, but also recognize it as your natural experience with me. Today, God advises you to be receptive, as interruptions of glory are imminent. A knock will sound at the door, and someone will answer saying, "I was driving by, and something forced me to stop and knock on your door. Can you help me?" Are you prepared for the clerk at the grocery store to grab your products, look at your face, and start crying? You will be unable to do business as usual since there is nothing conventional about my operations within and through you. Traffic will be obstructed near your home owing to the crowds, despite your wish to go about your daily routine, for I am present, and I am transforming the components that have eclipsed my presence on earth. The Father declares that neighborhoods, cities, and nations will be upset when I appear to reclaim accumulated possessions and stake my claim to what I sacrificed on the cross. Unbelief and theology of failure will no longer dominate among my people, since I am now showing the possibilities and willingness of a living, loving, and present God. Are you ready? Rap. Today, God is changing your life with a new viewpoint. Your history will no longer be a trustworthy guide to your identity or future in my country. Today, the Father declares that He has bestowed upon you the blueprint of destiny that He designed before the world's creation. No existing condition or contradiction may jeopardize such plan. Command your eyes and hearing to be opened, for you shall no longer be blind or deaf in my kingdom. Do not listen to the words of man or the enemy. You are aware of Satan's machinations. Therefore, you need not be concerned with his threats, for my plan and purpose surround you like a self-fulfilling mantle of favor, blessing, and strength. The Father implores you to focus on Him, ignoring the adversities and unfavorable situations, for His help is freely available and His heart is predisposed to effect the change and improvement you have requested at this time. Today, God declares that His goodness comes before His majesty. You have asked me for greater glory, and it is possible, declares the Father. Your access to my brilliance is based exclusively on the sacrificial blood of the cross, rather than any other criteria. There is no performance-based approach to my throne. Only the shed blood may offer you access to the glory that you have sought from me. The Father claims that my glory is not exterior, but rather intrinsically authentic. I live among the cherubim in the innermost chambers of your heart and existence. Moses begged to see my majesty, but it was necessary to first display my goodness to him. Prepare yourselves, because the Father declares that my goodness will appear in your life and become a practical reality beginning now. My compassion serves as an introduction to the grandeur you have coveted, and I am inclined to reply to your requests quickly. The Father says, rejoice. Celebrate and rejoice, since today is a watershed moment. God reveals today that you need not be concerned about missing what I am doing on earth. When the transformation takes place and the outpouring of my Spirit begins, I will make certain that you are at the center of my splendor. The Father says, When I breathe upon the earth, you are the conduit through which I exhale. I inhale your petitions and exhaust your proclamations, which transforms the earth. Do not concentrate on the events and circumstances in your life that contradict my promise, for those aspects are subject to change, and I am the God who can fulfill it. Today, the Father invites you to approach Him. Do not let the adversary's false enticements draw your attention away from my revealed countenance. Heed my appeal and let the spirit of encouragement to lift your spirits and restore your pleasure. The Father invites you to refresh in the fountains of my lively favor, as effervescent springs of joy and exhilaration arise in your life, casting off all despair. Engage in a discourse with my living potential and end the cycle of failure and misery, for this is not your legacy in my kingdom. Be motivated. Be convinced. The Father declares that you can afford it, as I replenish the reservoirs of joy in your life and impart the essence of what I have promised you today. God declares today that love is without remorse. The Father is not sorry for having expended heaven's best on your behalf. My affection for you has become stronger today. My feelings for you are limitless and unconstrained. If Calvary were summoned again today, I would surrender my only begotten in exchange for the love with which I have adored you. My affection is not a clinical phenomenon nor an abstract, impersonal concept. My feelings for you are the essence of my being. Without this love, I would not be the all-sufficient one, as it is essential to every aspect of my personality. My relationship with you is defined by zeal, intensity, and unshakable support. Your responsibility is to be the cherished one. Allow yourself to embrace, enjoy, and appreciate my love as the unconditional gift I have bestowed upon you. I love you, and there is no purpose or plan outside of love. My love comprises everything I want you to understand about my identity and function in your life. The Father urges you to accept His love. Accept the love of the only begotten and go forth in your day as the beloved, because I have placed my love on you and will not waver until the full manifestation of love is fulfilled in your life. Today, the angels declare that the words I uttered to you in isolation have purified you. The private space serves as a sanctuary for you, rather than just a spot for occasional visits. The adversary of your spirit attempts to draw you into small pursuits and meaningless thoughts. However, I urge you to resist the adversary, and his tactics will ultimately be ineffective. The pressure of circumstances and difficulties will lessen in the sanctuary, for there is no authority there other than mine. I am the author and finisher, declares the Father. In the secret place, I have inscribed my promises on the scroll of your life, and what I have written will not be changed. Therefore, enter the hidden world within your heart and mind today. Allow me to cleanse you of vapid thoughts and useless anticipations. Allow my fire in the hidden sanctuary to refine you like gold and make you perfect in my image. Depart, my beloved. Depart from the superficialities of worldly affairs and enter the region where profundity invites profundity, so that I may renew your spirit, restore your mind, and bestow upon you fortitude for the day and tenacity for the conflict. Detach yourself from the mental distractions and distortions of vision that the adversary uses to divert you, and anchor yourself in my love, which is protected by my everlasting arms. Today, God declares that you will recognize my voice. You will notice, understand, and perceive my words. I am giving you deeper insight than before. You will reflect on my goodness, and the essence of my spirit will disclose truth in the depths of your soul. Just as others have studied the Logos, you will study the Rhema, which contains my current truth that is accurately and directly applicable to your daily life. In your life and the lives of those around you, you will be able to respond to the question, What is the Lord communicating today? What actions is He undertaking today? Resolve in your heart to act upon what I disclose and urge you to do and articulate. I will position you appropriately, and miracles will occur. Miracles will happen as you and others work with the knowledge I share through the still, small voice. My voice causes transformation. Therefore, prepare yourselves to advance with the cloud of my spirit and the pillar of fire. I will give you duties, objectives, and methods as directed by the Father. I will provide the compensation framework for the required natural resources and provide you with bigger benefits than you could expect. You will be recognized as someone who epitomizes the Papa God anointing, and many will be set free from an orphan spirit as they gather around the love, provision, and ministry that I am imparting to you and others through you. Today, God declares that a gateway of glory will accompany you wherever you go. There is no need to look for an outer place or geographical location because it is my essence within you that brings salvation, healing, and release. I gave my life on the cross so that you could have everything Calvary has to give. I exist as Christ, representing your hope and expectancy. Give up all self-referential tendencies and insecurities and allow me to be your everything. I am the rock that followed the children of Israel on their wilderness trek, and I provided the water that nourished them in the desert. I continue to be that resource in your life. I am the nighttime fire and the diurnal cloud that surrounds you at all times. I bestow all of my grace, blessings, and essence through the portal of my beauty within. Your words and statements ignite and demonstrate that magnificence in the present time. Illustrate this day, says the Father, in my splendor. Utilize my essence. My triumph is connected with your goals, and your heart's ambitions will certainly be fulfilled. God declares that a plan for you is evolving and manifesting within you. I have a strategy, but you don't completely understand it. You have chased and attempted to define the boundaries of what your spirit has signaled I am about to do, but do not worry. My activities will be carried out based on your obedience rather than your comprehension. Servants submit to authority, but your obedience comes from the heart, like that of a cherished child rather than an indentured servant. The Father declares that the job is excellent. On this day, let go of your beliefs and principles and enter the elevated realm of my thoughts. My thoughts shape you and flow through you. My ideas provide you with the energy and information necessary for breakthroughs, changes, and developments. The Father orders you to climb so that my speech can be heard in your area without distortion. Your audio perception is mediocre, but I am improving it. In a unique way, I am enhancing my presence in your life. In peace and repose, you will get my insights into your soul, and if you behave in accordance with my revealed plan, my purpose in your life will not falter. God declared today that I am your banner. I am Jehovah Nissi in your life at the moment. The Father has designated you as the focal point for angelic reinforcements, so be prepared to see their involvement in your undertakings. When people let you down and those who should be there for you don't give up hope, for I am your comfort and support. I will always support you, even if friends and relatives turn a blind eye. Forgive those who have ignored you and avoided their obligations. They acted the way they did and are who they are. Avoid being emotionally vulnerable by expecting a shift in their hearts or minds. Entrust your disappointments and wounds to me, declares the Father, and I will heal, restore, and maintain you until the situation is resolved. Others may discourage you, despite their good intentions, but the Father assures you that He will never let you down. I will continue to support you. I will advocate for you, keep you secure, and provide for you. The Father declares that there will be no shortfall, denial, or postponement beginning today. Take heart and be encouraged. since your time of blessing has here. God argues today that you do not need to urge me to intervene on your behalf because I am not hesitant to act in your life. Every promise in my word is confirmed and fulfilled by the provisions of the cross. The Father emphasizes that his default attitude to you is positive, and that he will never abandon or forsake you. I will lead you to your shelter and wrap you in the safety of my timeless arms. The Father asks you to approach confidently. Approach with excitement down the new and bright route that my sanctification has opened for you. My throne symbolizes grace, and my attitude toward you represents kindness. I will not evaluate your faults and deficiencies before responding to your request. After studying your life, I see nothing to be concerned about, for the blood shed on your behalf purifies you and allows you to enter my courts without fear or intimidation. The Lord declares that I have more depths and heights than you can imagine, and on those ramparts, I will lay the victor's wreath around your brow as you surrender all your cares and anxieties to me today. Angels proclaim that now is the time to disregard popular opinion and listen to my message. I am summoning you to a period of existence in which you will value pleasing the Father above everything else. Be a pleaser to the Father, declares the Lord, for I have not called you to exist within the parameters of others' favorable judgments. I recognize that this contradicts everything you've been told or schooled on. I implore you to try me now and see my leadership and transformation of you. I will link your heart with mine when you eliminate the detrimental diversions of human thinking and limit yourself to the principles of my intelligence that are entrenched in and working through you. Before humanity may achieve unity, we must first connect with my heart and intentions. The profound connection that resonates with the profound cannot be found in the midst of the superficial, among others who are more entangled than with me. You must leave, my beloved, and in the privacy of the lattice, I will explain to you the profound truth of the bridal covenant that I am establishing on earth. You will emerge fearsome as a banner-bearing army, defeating the enemy, seizing the treasures, and accomplishing my objectives, which have been delicately placed like seeds in your destiny. I summoned you throughout the night, like a bridegroom seeking his beloved. Now, come quickly to me and behold the supernatural manifestation of my intentions for your benefit and that of those around you. This message seems divinely inspired. Before reading the prophecy on January 1st, 2014, I awoke in the night in admiration of God and played a worship CD that boosted my spirits. This message included words that Kitty spoke to me in a personal prophetic conversation. I am grateful to you, Pastor Russ and Kitty, for having the bravery to pursue, achieve, and excel in this extraordinary ministry of love, hope, inspiration, guidance, power, peace, protection, and more. I am confident that God will continue to support and bless our ministry and individuals engaged, exceeding our highest hopes and expectations. You, as well as everyone else involved in the Lord's amazing work, are truly lucky. We wish you a prosperous new year. Angels say that today you should keep my music in your heart. Raise the hymn of worship and the melody of victory, for I have guided you to my sanctuary, where the adversary's taunts cannot reach. Proclaim earnestly on your bed and construct harmonies within your heart, because I will validate the melody via the inspiration of answered prayers from my hand. Adulation reduces the enemy while eliciting divine resonance. The angelic melody is in your realm, radiating from your heart, where I reign and oversee every aspect of your existence. Sing the hymns of mercy and grace, proclaims the Father, for I am now disposed to lavish my loving kindness on you. The Father says it's time for you to ascend. I am currently working to dramatically improve your life in terms of aerodynamics. I'm currently easing your stress and simplifying the difficulties. The Father's words. I am simplifying your life. Therefore, resolve to collaborate with me and provide your complete cooperation. Avoid accepting duties that do not belong to you, and do not allow others to impose their agendas on your life. My favor is granted on you today and forever. As you align and collaborate with me, I will completely reshape the spiritual landscape of your life. God declares today that I am the unwavering foundation of your life. I am both the foundation and the capstone. When the creation of my essence within you is complete, the angels will proclaim grace, grace into the framework of my being that I have made within you. Others notice you and refuse to acknowledge my activities. Nonetheless, ignore their expressions and do not fear others' judgments. May humility and stillness strengthen your character as I lead you to a new purpose and greater rewards than you have previously known. Do you trust me? Allow me to guide you across the narrow passage that lies ahead. Avoid distractions from both sides. Avoid consulting with others on your performance on the assignment. Please allow me to steer you with my sight. Seek validation and peace in my presence rather than any other source. While others see an impediment, I see an opportunity, taking you into a sphere of abundance and achievement that is still a fantasy for many, who would never imagine you having such experiences. I am your protector and progressor, asserts the Father, and I am happy to manifest myself in your life today in an unprecedented way.